And we're live, let's go. So, since I haven't streamed in a week or so, I'll go over where I've been so far. So, basically I've just been playing this stupid stage over and over, trying various different things to see if there's a way to beat it without Pinecone's model. I technically found one way to do it that even includes thermo, but the RNG for it was so unrealistic that I gave up on it. And I essentially copied the strategy to eventually beat it on CN with Pinecone's model, and made a small change to it that should make it work without Pinecone's model. Of course with more shitty RNG. I have been grinding this stage for quite a while though, so this is going to be the last time I'm grinding it. I'll stream today for about 4 or 5 hours of grinding. If I can't get it now, I'll give up on it. And in the meantime, you're here to entertain me. I'll answer any questions you have. By the way, I have a question for mobile phone users. Have you noticed really strong FPS drops on large stages recently? Specifically, I'm asking for people who play on EN. Because the only reason I'm playing on CN right now is because this stage has massive frame drops on EN that it doesn't have on CN, which annoyed me to no end. Like every time the ballistas fire, the game drops 10 frames or something. Yeah, I'm curious if that's only on emulators on EN or if it happens on mobile too. It's definitely not a hardware issue in any way. Like I was playing Ragnarok on this same laptop without any issues right before the stream. And CN works perfectly fine, it's only EN that works. It's very weird. Alright, so it's probably an emulator specific issue. Okay, thanks for telling me. Bit more DP. We're using Pinecone as 2, so when we deploy her, FX where her skill goes off, which is why we were faulting some DP there. Alright. I've heard that it happens to other people too, on emulators in particular, so I think the issue is just something emulator specific that started happening recently. If you watched my reclamation algorithm stream, it's extremely noticeable there. I forgot to activate Myrtle. I wonder if it's gonna be a problem. Indigo might die because I forgot to activate Myrtle. Also we leaked anyway, so that's fine. CN is a bit waggy, but I can deal with the wag. The frame drops are much more annoying. At least they changed the challenge mode so it only takes 1 sanity. Means I'm free to grind it out. Zotki, what emulator are you using? Out of curiosity. Should I go fishing for a different one again? I've had different issues with all of them. Currently I'm running Mumu. I've heard Google Play doesn't run like shit, so maybe I'll give that a try next. Although no hotkeys is kind of a death sentence on its own. Google Play. Alright, but do you have a stable frame rate? Got it. You're wondering why I'm not letting Totter kill the other one, it's so I can deploy him earlier here and he can gain a few free hits on this asshole. The DP we lose deploying case doesn't matter, so it's worth it. Indigo has 2 jobs here, kill the turret and then tag this asshole at the chain so they die on time. Ethan is 2 after he hits 1 more time. Basically, you just want to use his skill as late as possible, and that's what lines up with the wave later. No time to use Myrtle's skill. And just activate Total the instant he's ready. Retreat Indigo before she dies. Now that's DP we actually need. And delay deploying Pudding a bit, just in case we need to block this asshole or something. Yeah, it's Pineconus too. It works better here, unfortunately. There's nothing happening. I'm just playing in 1x speed so I can read the chat. Wait until the assassin moves. About there. Then Gavio baits the flamethrowers. Acid drop shoots. 2 attacks from Ethan, and then we bind when this guy is in range. And now we don't do anything until Myrtle is back off cooldown. Generally... Oops, I may have messed up. I should have used Perfumer skill 1 attack earlier, I think. May have killed myself for not paying attention. Yeah, it wasn't me. Basically, whenever the assassin teleports, they reset their attack. And then they can one-shot bubble from almost full health. I need to use Perfumer skill after the second attack. I should probably pay less attention to chat. How do I plan to deal with the last assassins? I'm going to block all of them. It's a pain in the ass.
Yoshi, お前ら落ち着いていけよ。本気で行くよ。戦場は墓場よ。
Right, I'll just try to full tryhard. Wait until Totter is there so they can't dodge. By the way, the Lancers do random damage. They move so fast they don't always enter the chain under the same angle. And that can change the damage they end up doing. It feels really goofy. I like how the item binds make the mob live longer, because we don't remove the dodge from the chain. Shouldn't really matter in practice though.
白い息が
俺ら見えないだろ。
海面がこの敵たちはどれも波の危険さには及びません。
追い風が吹いてるな。あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
Oops. Forgot to remove Indigo. The perils of playing at 2x speed rather. It's not critical, it just meant I couldn't deploy Korra if it and missed a bind.
ここだ。アピールタイム。
Now I have to play everything at 1x speed because I have exactly 0 DP to spare.
どうすりゃいいんだ。
Though I don't really have the space for any fuck-ups on any other deploy. Other than that one anyway. 2 hits on Bubble, then use Perfumer skill.
問題ないわ。ほら、しっかり。
Myrtle is here to push the assassin back into Bubble. Like that.
戦場を図ら
追い風が吹く動くな。
I'd prefer to not use Totter skill a second time, but this guy has too much health, and there's nothing there to really kill him. We can wait a bit more. Aura, so she can start charging. Miss, miss, miss. Hooray! He actually died. One more attack here. One of them needs to teleport on to Korra. Well, both of them realistically.
ここだここ。
But one of them needs to do it before the defense runs out.
ここだ。オーリー。
Wait until the swing actually starts. Hmm.
一歩も引かないよ。
Okay, the second one will fuck off too. Perfect. Now we don't need to use the skill, but this guy leaks through. That's just down to RNG. I think we also got another part of RNG, but I didn't pay attention. Can Pinecone shoot? Yeah, you notice there was only one miss there, right? Pinecone can only hit one of these. So even if this guy didn't leak through, we were dead anyway, because one of the assassins is split boxed in such a way that Pinecone can hit them. Which is completely random. So we lost 2 different points of RNG there. Yeah, S1 because it has a better skill cycle. It lasts longer and loads faster. Though you can make the argument for Korra S2 as well if you want to. Yeah, this is probably gonna take a while. We didn't fail due to dodge RNG this time. We had one enemy split boxed on a tile where it can't be hit, because sometimes it just does that. It's a consequence of enemies having extra movement speed. Makes them do goofy shit. And even missed some binds that caused the leak here.
銃が飛び立った。
But yeah, it's basically all assassin related shit
票がついてないな。
that bring all of the RNG to the map.
全て見えている。
By the way, it's possible for this Wancer to just outright kill Cutter, because it doesn't always enter the chain from the same angle, and if it gets slowed down enough, the chain can completely run out of duration, and then Cutter just dies. It's really stupid when you see it.
追い風が吹いてるな。票がついてるぜ。
What progress you've gotten in this stage? What does that even mean?
今助けてやる。ここだよ。
Elaborate, please.
怖くはないわ。
本気で行くよ。
I just don't understand what you're asking me. So
行くよ。ここですか？
I mean, the solution I have is valid. It's just RNG. Like, the stage is solved, it's just a question of rolling RNG now. It's not a question of thinking about anything, we're just gonna roll RNG for a few hours. Closest I've gotten is one assassin leaking one hit from death from anything, with every other assassin blocked perfectly. Kind of messed up the Ethan timing, so I might die from that, if he misses a bind. Kind of like that. Yeah, I might stream chapter 14 too. Are we gonna get the buggy version on EN, or is it just gonna work normally on release? Or is it just going to be a massive whackfest? I guess that's also an option. There was more than one bug that came with chapter 14. Though I only know of them incidentally. I never actually bothered to play chapter 14 on CN. Oh, I should have paid attention. I could have not used Totter's Q here, because this guy is so low he would die anyway. I can... It's not critical that I used it, it's just that I'd get a better RNG line if I didn't. But this is still playable, so we'll finish it. It's 13, like from the quest that we had, like BB9. I think the number of assassins is kind of cute, but it's also way too much. In Ethan we trust. Okay, they're both in range this time. Ah, they both teleported at once, so Perfumer couldn't get any hits between them. That's a pity. Ideally, they teleport one by one so they don't hit at the same time. Ah, now we have some wagginess to take a break. Oh yeah, it's a huge pain in the ass, and we need this setup. Because nothing else can end up dealing with it. Why do they teleport anyway, even though her health wasn't low? They teleport off of their health, not your health. Have you been reading EN descriptions again? I haven't bothered playing the stages on CN. Yes, because Guobo is a waggy piece of shit and drops 10 frames anytime the ballista fires or anything else breathes. That's why we're on CN. I can't deal with the frame drops on Guobo. Probably gonna buy a decent VPN that doesn't murder my internet speed and just stream on CN every time. Just because the frame drops on Guobo piss me off so much. Oops, Haze first. We have so many Crown Slayers in the game when you think about it.
リンゴちゃん今日もよろしくね。問題ない。落ち着いて。
What attempt is this? No idea. You can count them if you want. No idea why anyone will try to count their attempts when they're grinding something for hours on end. That seems psychotic to me. You just give yourself depression.
道を照らしましょう。ここだここ。
Oops, I forgot to activate Eaton. I can probably just reset purely because I forgot to activate Eaton. But we'll play it out.
霧が出てる。
Since we're already here.
隠れても無駄だ。
I should really stop reading long comments though. I get distracted. Answering them and forget to activate skills. This is probably a reset unless we get some really lucky item bind. We'll see. Because his skill won't charge in time. Because I forgot to activate it earlier. Every tech I'm using is available on Guobo. It's just that the server is a waggy piece of shit. So I don't want to play this stage on the end, because I get constant frame drops. Apparently it's an emulator specific issue, but I am playing an emulator, so nothing I can do about it.
普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。 問題なそういう香りは好き。あ、そういうところだった。私の役目は刀を振るうことだけ。
Yeah, it's definitely some issue from the client.
霧が出てる。
Yeah, oops, I screwed up. Should have activated Totter earlier, because this is way too much health.
わかった。
I'm getting too distracted whining about how... Oops. This was dead anyway, because I needed to activate Totter skills earlier, both times. It wouldn't have lined up. Honestly, I should have just reset this one earlier, because I made fuck-ups that ruin all the timings later.
諦めないわ。
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I was one hit away from doing it this morning.
出発する。みんな、助けに来たよ。
Not the most horrible RNG grind I've ever done. Most of my time playing it was just spent trying to find out if there's some other strategy I could do. Because most of the strategy is just something I stole from the CN guy that did it. With Pinecone's model.
白い息が。
But we're playing without it. I tried a bunch of other shit to see if I could find another way. Ended up with absolutely nothing and then came back to this. My only difference is they used Hummus and I used Scutter. Because we need the extra damage from Cutter to compensate for Pinecone's model.
治療の準備だ。
私の目を見て。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。ワクワクするな。
今助けてやる。
追い風が吹いてるな。今日はついてるぜ。
影も
何やってんだ。
振り返るな。わあ、本気で行くよ。これが戦場というものね。ここですか？私の目を見て。悪い人に立ち向かうぞ。
How much RNG is this? What? I'll see if I can cover the main points of RNG as they come. Just so I can talk about them. So far, the only real piece of RNG we have is that the first one sometimes randomly kills Cutter. That just happens because of how they interact with the chains, they just end up doing random damage sometimes. It's annoying, but not a big deal.
白い息が。
First point of actual RNG is how much damage Totter does to this assassin, because we need to kill the first assassin early, basically.
ここだここ。いいぞ、もっとやれ。心の汚れが
Let's see if I can go over every point of RNG this run has as they come. Technically we have RNG here, but it's very unlikely that Ethan will miss anything, and even if he does, we can just drop Quora to block.
全て見えている。
バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。ああ、危ない。
Also, how much shots Totter gets on this guy depends a bit on the enemies themselves. Because they have dodge, right? So if they take more hits to die, Totter gets less shots on this asshole.
治療の準備だ。ボーリー。
The idea was that fighting 13 assassins is cool. Because that's what we fought in the
今助けてよ。
stage where Teresa died. Well, what Teresa fought anyway. Like I said, it's a cool stage. I just think it's slightly overtuned. And the worst part is that the RNG is mostly just comes from stage junk. Like, the dodge the enemies have isn't even the biggest source of RNG. Which is kind of stupid. Ethan gets 2 hits, and the normal enemies will die even if Ethan doesn't bind them. At least while acid drop skill is active. So we have very low RNG here. It's important to actually bind the Wancers, but he gets 2 attempts at it. So he usually manages it. And Bubble survives that. Yep.
追い風隠れても無駄だ。
いくらでも声を出すな。わかった。おバカさんたち。
Yep, shit.
ここでトゲータ
Yeah, that's enough health. Almost wasn't. Now we have some RNG with how these guys teleport over, how the dodge happens, and whether this guy dies or not. Or whether you even need to shoot him here. It's entirely possible for Totter to just outright kill him before he moves from over here.
基盤を引く。
One more hit, and then we retreat.
はい、了解です。
Also, ideally, we don't want them both to teleport at the same time. Which is pretty unusual anyway, because they don't have the same amount of health.
アピールタイム。
Okay, wait until this guy actually starts swinging. We want to save Perfumer's skill for later, that's why we're not using it. Now Bubble can survive this one for a while. We should leak this, I think, because he won't get cut by the second chain, because Ethan missed a bind. The way the chain works is that you have a cooldown after one chain is applied, which is very annoying. If he was right here, and he's let go, there's a 50-50 chance that the chain will slow him. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Also, when we used Totter's Q earlier, he had a window to hit this guy. If he hits him twice, then Acid Drop will kill him before he goes invisible. I mean, Teresa did die to the assassins, so obviously she wasn't stronger than 13 4-stars.
行ってドクター、できるだけ遠くまで。ここは私が何とかするから。
Oh, and we also got the out of range assassin anyway. Yeah, whether that one of them ends up outside of range is completely random.
これは私を狂わせる自由の匂いだ。
I wonder why I can't just move the chain forward once. I don't have spot for Cutter to fight properly. And the AoE from the guy will kill Pinecone. Yeah, it's not realistic.
戦場は墓場よ。
What? No, normal mode is 9 operators. The record is 9 operators on a robot, but I'm not grinding out to off-skew item binds to fix that. On the normal one we just use Cutter S1 as a DPS on the left, and she kind of shits on everything. 20% extra stats is a lot. Like for example, on challenge mode the assassins have 1800 attack. When Bubble block, let's use Quora because she's simpler. When Quora blocks something she has 1200 defense, so assassins hit her for 600. But on normal mode they only have 1500 attack, so they hit her for 300. The assassins literally do double damage on challenge mode to my defenders. And realistically only my defenders can tank them. It's purely the extra 20% from the stats that are making it so annoying to deal with. Yeah, it would actually be really easy to beat at this point. If we had one more operator we can move around, we would have essentially 0 RNG. So making a 8 deploy limit is kind of evil. One of these times I'm gonna forget to retreat Myrtle on time. And then die because of it. Yeah, it's a mystery to me why that is, but CN just runs better on emulator. It didn't used to be the case, but that's what we're dealing with right now. By the way, there's no point in letting the assassin kill Myrtle to absorb the big attack, because in the nanoseconds in which he is unblocked after killing Myrtle, he will regain his invisibility and the buff attack. It feels really stupid. But he sometimes doesn't get his buff attack at all, because he just sort of forgets. It's even more RNG. Okay, so this will outright die next time, without going invisible, because Totter shot him twice. One more attack. Okay, they still haven't teleported. Technically we live longer if we use Perfumer's skill, but if we're forced to use it we're dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's that. Deploy Indigo. And now we wait until this guy reaches blue, usually. I don't think I quite have the time. So Bubble takes 600 health per hit, right? Perfumer is first, so... Yeah, we have 3 more hits before we need to activate.
霧があがいたところで意味ないぞ。
え、そういう香りは好き？
Perfumer can just barely out heal one assassin, so we can wait there. Indigo is for the next wave.
追い風が吹いてる。
That's unfortunate. We cannot block him, he instantly teleports and block. Like, I can't even use the body, but if I just drop Myrtle to hit him, he'll teleport.
霧が出てる。
Just to demonstrate.
みんな助けに来たよ。みんな逃げるよ。
Yep, such is life. That's kind of a pity because we were past most of the RNG. Unless one of the assassins got split boxed on the side again, which they do about 50% of the time here. I wasn't paying attention to that.
自由の匂いだ。
I guess I really should, because the moment it happens there's zero reason to play the rest of the stage.
銃が飛び立った。
My thoughts on the aerial block. I think it's a meme unit. Tums is hoping that she's going to have an infinite duration skill, which would be cool, but most likely they won't.
治療してほしい。
I think it's a pretty useful archetype for a 6-star actually. You know, because you press the red button and then you just fly up. If they do a lot of damage, unlike ambushers, that's probably worth it for you. But it's a pretty mid idea for a 4-star.
ついてないな。
To be clear, that doesn't necessarily... isn't a problem. Like, they can make whatever new archetypes they want. I just don't think it will be something that's particularly useful to the 4-star pool in terms of actually clearing stages. You'll probably see it mostly used in 6-stars, because you can have that press the big red button, the operator flies up and the enemies can't hit it.
ここですか？盾を構えるぞ。
As you might have noticed, I didn't even address the bit about blocking air enemies because, come on, we basically don't have air enemies in the game anymore. They're so few and far between and they're usually so wimpy. Like, you barely have to care about them. The last time we had real air enemies were the Chapter 8 drones. Pay attention to that.
追い風隠れても無駄だ。
Yeah, it's only really useful for Dolly. Assuming the operator is worth bringing over whatever other tools you need. And that the skill actually has infinite duration. Kind of doubt the whole good at damage bit. I'll be surprised. Because she does physical damage after all. With physical damage you need stupidly high values to do anything. So, you know, like Totter or Cutter, or have some kind of cheese that ignores it.
みんな基盤を引く。
え、
気を確かに
I don't think not being attacked by melee enemies is in any way niche. You don't need to make a 6-star that ignores that. Technically we're not dead yet, because Cutter can catch this one. But it only works if
いくらでも待つよ
we can kill this without an assassin killing us.
僕に
Which is kind of unlikely. No?
いくらでも声を出す
Whoa. Good job, Cutter.
おバカさんたち僕が相手だよ
Missed one attack.
バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ
We currently have 3 assassins on Bobo, so the moment her skill ends, she would die instantly. One of them should already be teleporting. Yeah, we're dead. Cutter's efforts were wasted, because the one on the back got infinite dodges and it didn't die. Oh yeah, if we didn't have the failure penalty, I wouldn't have bothered to grind it though. Yeah, we have a whack break. Oh yeah, I have a coffee on this desk. I forgot. That first throw assassin tragically wasting Cutter's godly quatch. Nah, it's not cold, I made it like when I started streaming half an hour ago. Do I want to whack for 2 minutes between stages and occasionally time out completely? Or do I want to drop 20 frames per second? Choices. Yeah, I'm gonna try out Google Play next stream. Oh, and now it timed out. Excellent. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna do IS5 for pending when it comes to Yen. You know how I kind of time out randomly and whack? Imagine doing this while playing IS5. So I beat a stage, I press on the ingot, waiting. I press on the recruit, waiting. I press on the item, waiting. Finally, we go on to the next stage. We beat it. The game times out and we drop out and lose. That's just not something I can tolerate. It gave me an error. Go again. I mean, if we can't walk in a tower, we'll go to Ian, I guess. But I'd really rather not deal with the frame rate on Ian if I can. I don't know. On this one, you just kind of shoot the assassins and then block everything else and you're done. I don't think it's that bad. This isn't my account. I'm borrowing it from a friend. So I'm not the person to ask on how to make a CN account. BBS1 is definitely the hardest stage here. I'd say it's the hardest stage other than this one. I'd say it's around the usual difficulty, the hardest stage in between S stages are. This one is just an exception, it's way above the usual difficulty curve. I am talking for 4-star shit. Of course, if you have the damage to actually kill the assassins, in one chain that drastically changes the nature of the stage, because you just set up one chain here and one chain here and beat the shit out of them. As usual, I won't give out any opinions until I actually play with the operator. I don't enjoy speculating. Most likely, unless they do a stupid amount of damage, there'll be a meme operator. Because blocking air units is shockingly not very useful. When we barely even have air units in the game. And we have a lot of very strong anti-air for 4 stars anyway. So maybe I'm wrong, because ultimately damage is all that matters. If they have a really good values, they can be good. The first thing we're gonna do is go and bully the stupid sheep, of course. Clicked on core on accident. Also, Pinecone was late. I deployed her about 2 seconds later than I should have. This can actually cause a huge issue later. Would be funny if I lose because of it. Now we're just gonna play on 2x speeds. Since I probably screwed myself at that point. She's a specialist, yeah. What does that have to do with anything? Specialist, medic, guard. I mean, I can technically keep playing this, I guess, so why not? That's too much health. No reason to even bother. Yeah, I think it's a decent effect for a 6-star to have. It's kind of weird because ambushers basically do the same thing anyway. You know, the point is that it doesn't get hit by melee enemies. Which is the real advantage. I wonder if she'll be useful on the stage in chapter 9 where enemies run with at 150 miles an hour. If it's actually an infinite duration skill, it might have some use for 4 stars, because then you can lower the DPS to just find cutter plus decent Jaya or something. The chain is just pure junk in so many ways. Especially with Lancers, because they move so fast. Sometimes they enter the chain at different angles, like from here and they go in the center or just directly from the edge. It's basically possible for a Lancer to hit a Cutter before the chain slows it, which incidentally ends up with Cutter surviving with the most health possible, because the way this stage works is stupid. Yeah, you can see it right now, that's exactly what happened. He didn't get slowed, and he did barely any damage to Cutter. This is because he got slowed while the attack was still flying toward... While he was still doing the attack animation. It's also possible for Cutter to outright get one shot, but it doesn't happen too often. What do you mean, 2 new 4 stars? What's the other one? I only know about the specialist one. Do we have something else? Kinda deployed Pinecone late again. It only matters on the last wave, because the timing there is really tight and I want to get rid of her as soon as possible. So since it's not a death sentence, we'll keep playing down, even though the timing is less than ideal. Yeah, but that's just one new 4-star, considering the time period between them.
霧が出てる。
Wait, this assassin? No. We don't have the deployment slots to do anything. You can obviously do something if you are bringing other operators. Like if we drop any operator on them, that operator will instantly explode. And then they have 1800 damage per hit after they use their special skill that one-shots everything. So there's nothing I can do to touch them with any other operator. And even if I could kill this one is completely irrelevant anyway, because he just dies to Pinecone with very little issue later. If acid drop didn't shoot him, Ethan gets one more hit there, which either binds or outright kills. So the small ones can't really leak even if they want to. It's more about the lancers, and sometimes these assholes can get in range of acid drop and kill her. But it's very unusual for it to happen. Ethan has to basically miss every bind. I might have Bubble die there, we'll see. It's gonna cut it a bit close. Yeah. Needed to activate Bubble skill, one assassin attack sooner. That was just me being stupid. Okay, enough talking for a bit. Back to tryharding. I'll still talk, obviously, I just won't pay attention to the chat. It's on CN, yes. We're not using Pinecone's model. Ian is just a waggy piece of shit. I don't have Wagony and I have frame drops, to be specific. There's just some issue with that's really unoptimized for emulate. Oh, and it's specifically on the EN client. We don't have it on the CN client, which is why I'm playing on it. We have the DP anyway. Yeah, before this attack this time. That was technically a bit too early, but it shouldn't be a problem. We need the defense to absorb the third attack from the one that's coming. Also, this guy might just walk through. Yeah, bye-bye. If we use it on skill here, we'll die later, so it doesn't matter. I'm using an emulator. I'll try the Google Play app next. In my search for the least dogshit way to play Arknights on a PC. I assume I can't play the CN server from Google Play, so I'll have to keep one emulator for that. But CN runs fine on emulator in any case. I'm gonna be honest, I'm willing to play Arknights if you replace all of the enemies and operators with just squares and circles. Like, I don't play this game for the graphics, to put it mildly. Kind of deployed Totter 2 seconds later, so we're gonna switch to a slightly different version. If we're already late, there's no reason to try and deploy him as soon as possible, because it doesn't line up properly. We're gonna delay the first cast on the other tile, so he gets more chances to kill this one. If we get really lucky, he outright kills it. Which probably won't happen. But you know, we're just rolling RNG to begin with, so what's a little more? Can I play it without the voice lines? Yeah, I'm just here for the mechanics. Is that tagged by the chain? Yeah. Just so they can't run through. Should have waited even a bit longer before deploying Totter. Now is he making it through? For a change, he's not. Is Bubble just dead? Apparently not. Quora is though, unless one of them decides not to do the big attack. Yeah, you might notice one of them just didn't do their big attack. Sometimes they just forget to do it, because this event is extremely tightly coded. We'll probably leak this one,
力を蓄えて
because as a consequence of the late total deploy. How much health are we running with here? 800. He takes 150 per hit, so we have 2 more attacks there.
ええ、ほらしっかり。
追い風あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
準備できました。
Need that bind.
準備できま夜明けまで守り抜きます。
Need to block that guy with cutter. You know, if this guy decides to die.
風が吹いてるな。
That one's my fault. It's not RNG. If you remember, I deployed Totter a bit too late, and then
逃げ回るの
that
は
had issues stemming from that.
今回は散々だよ。
So you can consider that more of a throw than bad RNG.
みんなくれぐれも安全にね。わあ、みんなこっち来て。
Oops.
戦場は墓場よ。
銃が飛び立った。
繰り返るな。
Cases chains aren't for office works, they're for private use only.
治療の準備だ。
わかった。遅れたな。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。綺麗な
しっかりしろ。
霧が出てる。今日はついてない。
影のよう。ここだよ。わかった。声を出すな。
何やってんだ。
これが戦場という。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。繰り返るな。釘のようにここでしっかり支えます。盾を構えるぞ。基盤を引く。
Did I forget to activate Myrtle's skill? Apparently so, judging from the timing.
銃が飛び立った。草むらに待ち伏せの可能性がある。
暴力じゃ何も解決できないけど、お前を料理するには十分
心の汚れが光への
Don't 5 stars have a way to reveal the assassins?
準備できました。
I don't think this kind of setup would make sense for 5 stars. Because you can simply reveal the assassins.
ところで意味ないぞ。
Oh, I forgot to retreat Myrtle. I'm not sure if this makes it in time. I think that's... So normally the moment her skill charges is near the last possible time to retreat her, but in this case the skill is delayed. I'll play it out to see, but I think I'll just die because Myrtle won't be back in time. Because I'm stupid.
治療の準備
Then again, 30 seconds is really close, so it might just make it.
どうすりゃいいこれが見えないだろう。
しっかりしろ。
We've thrown a few playable runs from execution errors.
バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。問題ない。そういう香りは好き。
Yeah, he teleports here. So we're not in time. Oops. A bit of whack. Normally this goes away when you press a button, but sometimes it decides not to. We'll give it a second and see if it goes away on its own. If not, I close the emulator and start over. Yeah, it's gonna time out on its own. Yeah, 60 res is at the point where Haze is much better. Even without her module, Haze would still be better than Click here, because Haze is also helping Indigo do more damage. Because the res debuff isn't just for her after all. Yes, if you do have a better strategy, feel free to send it my way. I sure as shit don't. Ten, 9, 8. I'd really not close Arc Knights, because it takes like 2 minutes to start up. I would prefer to have it on my SSD, but my SSD is only 250 gigabytes. And there are games with bigger loading times than Arc Knights. Hey, there we go. Is that our third disconnect so far? And it's still preferable to playing this stage on EN. I think this is a me-specific issue. I joke about it, but the connection probably just turns through some really asinine route. Like, if I use a VPN to the US, and I live in Bulgaria, I get a better connection to the CN server. I usually just say it's because my connection runs to Kazakhstan, which honestly, considering when I've checked asked for the router IPs on the way, like half of them are just out of sync, out of sync, out of sync. So that might just be true. Oh, the WAG is so big we get to hear the Ebenhost's entire line. Sometimes you can log in and then just get 400 instantly. Yay, it didn't drop us out instantly. Honestly, the lag also really annoys me, but the frame rate is worse. Like, I don't mind if the gameplay stutters a bit, I can deal with that. But when it lags for half a second, and just drops 15 frames, it can have gameplay effects. Because Arc Knight is really affected by its frame rate. If it didn't have any gameplay effect, I would just deal with the frame rate. Myrtle's skill getting delayed doesn't really matter, because Indigo has enough time to kill anyway. Wait, why are you waiting for a Cutter skin? Cutter is peak already, she doesn't need a skin. Fine for Vermeo though. Oops. Shouldn't have retreated Myrtle so early. It introduces a bit of RNG in the run that didn't need to be there. The worst thing about L2Ds is that people just don't call them gifts, which is what they are.
海面が少し想像しい。
追い風が吹いてるな。あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。行きます。
Oh, some operators have skins drawn by different artists. Why does she have a low chance of getting skin? Is drawing porn a problem for some reason? I'm not really familiar with the culture around this stuff. Not sure what guy you're talking to, but probably Ethan had already hit him. Because once Ethan attacks something, and ambushers in general, they can hit it outside of their range. You might see it now if you pay attention. Once, if they're in the range when the attack starts, they'll get hit no matter where they are. We can wait a bit on the defense. Yeah, it has to be now. Not will die without cutter. Just drop Korra. Not enough health missing here. 2 shots is a guaranteed kill, basically. Later on. Though we might just leak this one, since we don't have the luxury of using Ethan's skill here. Never mind. Totter didn't miss any shots. Good job, Totter. Okay, no immediate issue right now. This guy died, perfect. Kind of late on Haze's deploy, so we lose a bit of space. It's not necessarily a problem. Is the second guy in range? Yeah, he is. So as long as this guy dies, which is a bit RNG, we should be fine. Yeah, so you see how the second chain revealed him again? That doesn't always happen. Whether it happens or not is completely RNG. We can wait, that's a lot of health. Can't use haste here. Go, Totter, go. Luckily, Perfumer and this asshole have almost the same attack speed, so there's no risk of them getting desynced somehow. This guy does 0 damage, don't know what is there. Okay, we can leave Totter on the ground and wait until an asshole starts coming from this box. Because the next deploy we have is Scutter. So we can wait for one more shot. And then drop Cutter. Now we need these guys to die before Perfumer's Q runs out. Or they'll simply kill Bubbo and then we're dead. At least one of them needs to die anyway. Ideally both, of course. That's one of them dead. I think her health is too low, so we might be fucked on that end. How much health do you have? 400. Perfumer heals first, right? Okay, so she's going to take 600 damage. The next heal from Perfumer will be off skill for 400. We can delay one more hit there, which is just more time for Indigo to do damage. Once she drops this hit. And hopefully this makes it in time. And now these guys just need to die. But maybe they won't. This guy needs to eventually die to Cutter too.
何やってんだ。
ここだ。
I'm not sure if Cutter can actually tank two of these guys when I think about it. Maybe I should have pointed Gavio at her as well. That might have been a mistake from me. The number of dodges there. Yeah, I should have pointed Gavio top. Would have given me better chances. But the infinite dodges here kind of fucked me over anyway. Presumably it's harder than Dolly event, yeah. I never really played the S stages on Dolly because the WAG was... like, the frame drops were completely awful. I don't really agree with just flat out judging stages on how many operators it takes to beat them. Because just because something takes a lot of operators doesn't mean it's hard. Like, imagine you have an enemy that just has an enormous fucking health pool, but all it does is walk in a straight line. And, like, it has so much health that it forces you to bring a full 6-star squad to just stow it and beat it down. That will take a lot of operators, but it won't exactly be hard, right? Because you just point the DPS at it and shoot it. That's kind of what I mean. I'd say this stage is both hard, in the sense that it's very technical, disconnect number 4, and that it takes a lot of operators, but I think being hard and taking a bunch of operators is a correlation, it's not a causal relationship. Yeah, exactly. Bad user. Reclamation algorithm is an excellent fucking example of this. Like that guy with the scythe that just sits in the middle of the field, and you just block him and then shoot him and the stage is over. Like, that's not hard. It's gonna take a bunch of operators, but it's not difficult. Yeah, this has already been done with Pinecone's model. In fact, most of the strategy for this run is directly lifted from the CN guy who did it with Pinecone's model. So now we're trying to make it work without. We are whacking a bit of damage on the right, which is why Cutter is there, to compensate for the damage that Pinecone's model gives.
ちゃんと休息を取れているか、ドクター。私もかつては好んで夜更かしをしていた。ある日、一晩中
The last night is not a big health enemy by any reasonable metric.
実に恐ろしい経験だった。
Oh no, wait, which one was the last night? Is it the Gundam or the guy from IS-3? I always get those mixed up. If it's the guy from IS-3, you're exactly right, yeah. If it's the Gundam, then what I said is the one I was talking about. Wait, what was the name of the Gundam then? The Last Steam Night or something?
戦場を墓場に
If you remove the attack where he flies away, he's basically just an elite enemy. Then that's what they did for the Go event, when I think about it.
治療の準備だ。
本気で行くよ。振り返るな。綺麗な地形だ。
しっかりしろ。
霧が出てる。今日はついてないな。
影のよう。
なんこだよ。
わかった。そういうの出すな。みんな、こっち来て。怖くはないわ。いくらでも待つ。そういうの出すな。ここですか？盾を構えるぞ。バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。わあ、みんな、こっち来て。
An ad with the Gundam?
杖が温まってくる。
What was the ad for? A game or like a chewing gum?
夜明けまで守りに行きます。うわ、ちゃうところだった。準備できました。
霧が隠れても無駄だ。
基盤を引く。
That will die on its own. Mm-hmm.
治療の準備だ。
ここだよ。
No, I'd say that dodge is the least of my problems. It's more about the split box RNG here. The fact that I need to teleport to lineup, which is mostly due to dodge, and Ethan RNG on this side. Dodge RNG is the problem after this one. I messed up Ethan's timing a little bit, by the way. It won't necessarily matter. But it means he won't get one hit off on certain enemies instead of two.
問題ない。ほら、しっかり。私の役目は刀を振るうことだ。
Spam Totter skill.
わかった。遅れてます。僕にもこれでトゲアター。
One hit. Oh, no second hit. Second hit is a basically guaranteed kill on that guy. I can still lick him if Ethan decides to bind 0 times, but you know, we take what we can get. Yeah, the one on the back is dead. That's always helpful. One more attack from Pudding. I can't tell if their health pools are balanced or not.
何も解決できないけど、
ここだよ。ドクター、無駄無駄。
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. And this guy is actually in range. Alright, I'll take a 3-minute break to go to the toilet. Back in a bit. Hey, if Ethan doesn't wanna bind, he doesn't wanna bind. It happens. Alright, we're back. I'd say
よし
only S4 is actually
落ち着いていけよ
difficult. Like S1 is the only other one that's really difficult, but it's like the challenge mode. The normal one is whatever,
今日もよろしくね
and it's barely above the usual difficulty scaling of S stages. This is the only real standout stage in terms of difficulty. You can probably do S2 with E1 4 stars with relatively little effort, because it's just a huge DP check at the start and then you're fine. Actually, it might be really hard because of that. I might be talking out of my ass here, because you can't deploy Myrtle at the start,
霧が出て
and S2 is a throw stage.
今日はついて全て見えて
But apart from that,
治療の準備だ
for E2 they're not actually that difficult. This is the only insanely high difficulty stage.
綺麗な今助けてやる
Yes, the doorkeepers don't lose the chains when they get KO'd. Which is kind of the... I'll just reset because I forgot to retreat Totter. I'll just finish what I was saying. Which is kind of why this style ban is supposed to matter. Because when you're just playing normally, you can drop a spouter here and she'll beat the shit out of the assassins. But Verdant is not spouter, so that tile ban is completely irrelevant to 4 stars. Do I think I could do this with a lower level? Quantify lower level. If we lower, let's say, what operator matters least? Gavio by 1 level. That's technically lower level. Like, do you mean at E1 or like everyone's level 20? What does lower level mean exactly? Nah, doorkeepers are not unique, they just stole the tactician class's specialty. I assume this stream demonstrates why I don't want to stream playing IS-5 on CN, right? Like, look at this shit. But when we're playing IS, anytime this happens, we lose the run. Is pudding necessary? We need the damage. She can conceivably be replaced with a different operator, but they also have to be a DPS operator.
ちゃんと休息を取れているかドクター
So there's not much point in screwing around with her
私も
role.
かつては好んで夜更かしをしていた
Because we need somebody to fill that role and she does it well enough. Anyone else would be at worst, at best they'll be
その
comparable
後
to
1
her.
週間も激しい頭痛が続くまではな
Oh, we have 370 people.
落ち着いて
Big...
いけよ
The assassins are bringing in the big crowd, I guess.
リンゴちゃん今日もよろしくね
Because the frame drops are on EN are even more annoying. And again, I could deal with frame drops, like poor performance is not something that's a big deal to me, but it has gameplay effects, because when when you drop frames in Arc Knight, it affects how enemies function. If you drop enough frames, it's possible for a melee enemy to completely walk through your operator without getting blocked. Which isn't going to happen here, I don't drop quite that many frames.
今日はついてない
But for certain interactions, it just makes the RNG even worse. Even if I don't just make some mistake due to a frame drop.
こっち来ていくらでも私の目を見て綺麗な地形だね
アーツの治療範囲に入れ
Speaking of making mistakes, let's actually pay attention.
霧が出てる今日はついて
By the way, does anyone else hate that when you borrow an operator, they're always on the rightmost side?
アピールタイム
When it's a lower DP operator, it always annoys me to scroll all the way to the right side of my screen just so I can click on them.
始めるぜ
これが戦場というものねここですかわかった盾を構えるぞ違うよ引く光が
Yeah, there's a lot of goofy interactions. The game speed can affect stuff sometimes. Though going from 1x to 2x usually doesn't do it. Emphasis on usually.
白い息が雪原に敵が
今はもっとやれ。海面夜明けなら守りに行きます。
Maybe for me it's because I basically never borrow operators.
準備できました。
Like, even if I don't want to play a stage with 4 stars, I just have some random 6 stars. I deploy Redoubt, Scouter and some shit, click some buttons and we're all done.
バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。ドクター。行きます。
Notice how long this archer lives, because this asshole decided to dodge every hit. Honestly, I like streaming when I grind stuff. I'm just not sure how to do it while I'm actually trying to figure out the run. Because my process for figuring out strategy is basically, I try something random, I die, and then I go, I have no idea how to do this, and then I go outside and walk around for a bit until I figure it out. So I'm not sure how to actually do that on stream. Maybe I should have an IS game open on the side. Anytime I get stuck, I just go play IS.
助けに来たよ。ほら、しっかり。私の役目は刀を振るうことだけ。
隠れても無駄だ。
よかった、振り返るな。
Have a little more time there.
オラオラ。
No? Do we actually kill him or does he walk away with 1 HP? Bye bye. If you're wondering why I didn't use Ethan, I need him later. If that guy doesn't die, we can just reset. Totor isn't gonna hit the right ones for it to matter. Also, if I just wanted Totor to shoot in the group, he could do that from the tile he was already on. We just point him up. But he can't do enough damage to them for it to be meaningful.
私を狂わせる自由の匂いだ。わあ、本気で行くよ。戦場は墓場よ。
Like, you can see him, how much he struggles just to kill one of them. Granted, that's because he gets interference from basic enemies, but he'll basically have a permanent interference from shooting at other assassins. An AoE op he is not. I kind of wanted to reset because I deployed Total late, but it takes so long to reset, I'll just play it out at this point.
追い風が吹いてるな。
いくらでも声を出すな。バックフリップからの狙い撃ち。みんなこっち来て。怖くはないわ。声を出すな。釘のようにここでしっかり支えます。悪い人に立ち向かうぞ。普段通り釘を打て。本気で行くよ。
光よ力をそういう香りは好き
今はもっとやれ。
夜明けまで守りに行きます。準備できました。
霧が出てる。今日は隠れても無駄だ。
おバカさんたち、僕が相手だよ。ドクター。危ない。電撃発射。
治療してほしい。ここだよ。
ここだここ。暴力じゃ何も解決できないけど、お前を料理するには十分だぜ。
問題ない。そういう香りは好き？心情は墓場よ。
追い風が吹いて隠れても無駄だ。
僕に任せて。ぶん殴ってやる。はい、了解です。電撃発射。
Weapon is from current tier, so she'll have more damage and silence.
バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。できた。
俺が見えないだろ。
ここだ。ウォーリー。
Feel like I've deployed Pinecone late.
無駄無駄。
Because usually her skill ends up a bit earlier.
逃げ回るのは慣れてるけど、今回は散々だよ。罪なき人を巻き込まないように十分に準備して。
The assassins have about 600 DPS against Quartz. So the massive burst damage aside, she simply can't tank them. Like, the defenders have 1000 defense each and they can barely tank them. If I had to heal 1000 more damage, I'll need so many more medics.
白い息が
And that's all for Quartz, who does less damage than Pinecone would do there anyway.
霧が出てる。あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
治療してほしいやつは前に出ろ。
みんな
ワクワク。何やってんだ。
霧が出てる。今日はついてないな。ここでいいや。
Happy Halloween. I'm too old to know what the rest of what you said means though. Good for you, I guess.
ここだよ。
いくらでも持つよ。りんごちゃん、今日もよろしくね。これが戦場というものね。いくよ。いくらでも私の目を見て。ここですか？わかった。盾を構えるぞ。バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。本気で行くよ。
杖が温まってきました。
Well, nobody uses WAP once, so you can just call the new one WAP. And there'll be no confusion at all.
白い息が見える。雪原に敵が潜んで
Now
る。
wait a minute. is first, I guess.
いざもっとやれ。
この敵たちはどれも波の危険さには及びません。海面が少し想像しいですね。
追い風隠れても無駄だ。
オラオラドクター、危ない。電撃発
治療の準備だ。
オーリー。どうすりゃいいんだ。目の前真っ暗になってねえか。
Click isn't even in the conversation. Indigo, Stavsmore, and Haze can be replaced. Acid Drop also can be replaced because we need fast redeploy. You can find the Sea Enron if you want to see the original with Pinecones model at Warcrack, but it's essentially the same strategy with some minor differences in total skew and Humus instead of Cutter. That's the entire difference if you're wondering. I basically spent a long time trying a lot of other strategies because this one feels awful to play. Then I found absolutely nothing better and came back to this one.
いくらでも私の目を見て。トゲトゲアタック。おバカさんたち、僕が相手だよ。
I saw the new 4 stars, yes. My initial guess is that it's a meme unit. Thumbs mentioned that it probably has an infinite duration skill, which if true could be useful, but there's a chance he's just coping. So overall, let's wait until it comes out and then have thoughts on it. What you should do if you ever stream is read the operator names and just call them by their actual full names. No idea what the other trait is for. I don't know what this archetype is called. What acid drop could have gotten. The fast redeploy is a really good one though. Makes her able to do some things that other snipers can't. I like that model upgrade. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Read their ID. Instead of saying their name, just read the entire Rhodes Island's file.
アーツの治療範囲に入れ。
追い風が吹いてるな。今日はついてるぜ。
狙い撃ち。始めるぜ。
わあ、リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。いくらでも声を出すわ。
I'm sure lots of people on EN know how to read. The text being unreadable is a different problem though. What was a hexer anyway? Shamar? I'm great with archetype names, as you can surely tell. The question is, if we ever get a 4-star hexer, Will it buff our operator's defense instead of debuffing enemies?
どうすりゃいいんだ
I kind of just realized I forgot to activate it on time. Oh well. That's reset worthy on its own, but we'll play it out. At this point I can't activate it because I just need the skill anyway. Okay, mostly resolves into a normal line.
治療してほしいやつはな。
Actually, it might be a bit better when I think about it. Because if the enemies don't get bound here and run here, they actually get stopped by the chain, so then they don't have dodge. Maybe I'm better off just not using Eaton's skill there. Provided Myrtle actually cycles in time, but we'll see what happens in that end in a bit. She might be a second late again, because I had a brain fart. Okay, that's early in time, I think. Yeah, that's not a good idea to do generally. Way too close for comfort. Can't wait for the normal hit. This guy's thing still being alive is usually a death sentence all on its own.
俺が見えないだろ
Bye, Bubble. That's out of range. Oh, it's not, shockingly.
問題ないわ。使用確かに。
ドクター、こちらです。怖がらないでください。どれほど暗い道でも私が照らしますから。
出発。ドクター、ここっていい景色だね。わあ、みんなこっち来て。
Why exactly do I need to bring Beanstalk? I'm not sure I get what she's supposed to help with. Also, what operator should be removed to fit Beanstalk in the squad? I have so many questions. I think the good thing about W being in the end is that maybe we'll go a single stream without mentioning W. That'd be awesome. Once that finally happens.
アピールタイム。
ここだここ
何やってんだ。
声を出すな。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。
始めるぜ。
これが戦場というものね。ここですか？声を出すな。
The Laon's Trail stage doesn't really compare to this at all. Personally, I'd say for 4 stars this is just flat out the hardest stage in the game. Then again, I also spent 4 weeks playing H204, so I should probably shut my mouth.
リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。ええ、落ち着いて。
Well, if we're still here, then there's been no progress, obviously.
どうすりゃいいんだ
白い息が見える。雪原に敵が潜んでる可能性
目の前真っ暗になってみ
夜明けなら守りに行きます。
Yeah, maybe when IS5 comes out in the end.
準備できました。
Though you're a lot more free with what you can bring
追い風が吹いてる
than IS4. Because you have so many more items, you get flexibility.
ところだった。普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。よし。行きます。
That's just a reset. We don't have to wait around until the assassin runs around to find out we can kill him.
今回は残念だったけど、これくらいでは諦めないわ。
Well, it's the best operator in the game, so it's normal, I guess. Best in terms of damage numbers, not design quality. That goes to Wogus.
出発する。
ドクター、ここっていい景色だね。うわ、見ちゃうところだった。本気で行くよ。
私の役目は刀を振るうことだけ。
Quartz can solve the left lane up until the second of these guys comes along. She will kill the first one though, unless he dodges a lot. So maybe she won't.
霧が出てる隠れても無駄だ
治療してほしい。
本気で行くよ。
綺麗な地形だね。
アーツの治療範囲に入れ。
追い風が吹いてるな今日はつい
受からない。
狙い撃ち。何やってんだ。
振り返る
みんな、こっち来て。
な。怖くはないわ。
釘のようにここでしっかりさす。私の目を見て、いくらでも待つよ。悪い人に立ち向かうぞ。バッテリーはまだまだ持ちます。本気で行くよ。
光に
ついて。
銃が飛び立った草むらに待ち伏せの可能性ある
That's just execute a router, merging Pinecone, Quartz and Tonada.
うわ、見ちゃうところだった。
I forgot to activate
海面が少し
it again. Let's see if this actually turns out better.
全て見えている
Because if the enemies get blocked by Korra, they actually don't have dodge anymore. So maybe it just ends up with them dying faster. No, I don't think it really gives us that much better. I wonder how much more health the assassin loses. We'll probably just die to it later. I'm just curious. How much health he loses to totter between skills.
ここだここ。俺が見えないんだ。
Because I haven't been paying attention to that before.
普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。こういう香りは好き。みんな。
Basically nothing.
うわ、見ちゃうところだった。
私の役目は刀を振るう。
全て見えている
Yeah, it's definitely better to use it in skill then.
いくらでも待つよ。僕にも。おバカさんたち、僕が相手だよ。はい。人気ちゃうぜ。
I guess this dies if we get one bind at random here. But that's an unrealistic outcome anyway. That was less RNG and more me just screwing around with the strategy. I was curious if it was better not to use it in skill. It is not. Because the archer lives too long then.
よし
I think you've seen most of the strategy. There's some fun stuff near the end that hopefully we'll get to at some point.
本気で行くよ。戦場は墓場よ。
白い息が
振り返るな。
追い風が吹いてるな。
治療してほしい
本気で行くよ。私の目を見て。ワクワクするな。
アーツの治療範囲に入れ
追い風が吹いてるな。今日はついてるぜ。
影の
しっかりしろ
私の目を見て。本気で行くよ。
何すりゃいいんだ
これが戦場というものね。巨人のようにここで振り返るな。盾を構えるぞ。本気で行くよ。
光が
落ち着いて。
Oops.
銃が飛び立った。
Kind of late on deploying totem.
守り抜きます海面が少し想像しい
I guess we'll just switch to the version where we activate his skill a bit earlier. Once the third archer gets closer.
追い風が吹いてる。隠れても無駄だ。
So there's more of his skill to shoot at this window. Though it only really matters if the guy decides not to dodge. The downside is that we basically need to kill him here.
治療の準備だ
アピールタイム
どうすりゃいいんだ。いざもっとやれ。
That looks reset worthy to me. Way too much health left. Oh, also acid drop will die because it will miss the bind. Oh no, we have like 4 different points of RNG other than dodge RNG. The dodge RNG is one problem among many. We can also instantly lose if one of the assassins on the right teleports a bit too far for no reason and ends up being split boxed outside of Pinecone's range. We also have dodge RNG on the right. Bunch of shit that can go wrong, it's not just one thing. Yeah, I ended up playing on CN because EN runs like shit on emulators for some reason. It's a recent thing too, it used to run fine. I'm gonna be trying Google Play soon enough to see if that runs any better. We are grinding. Whether you want to consider that winning is up to you. Yeah, it was somewhere around the reclamation algorithm expansion. Hazare 2 used to run perfectly fine before that change, so it should be around then.
道を照らしましょう。準備できました。
ほらほら普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。ドクター、あ危ない。はい、
Yeah, I definitely don't think that's true as a rule.
スタンバイ。
治療の準備だ。
There's a lot of events that has an extremely strong mechanic that aren't particularly difficult for lower rarities. Twilight, for example, or Enel.
ここだここ。
So I wouldn't say that's a trend. Where if the event has a mechanic that's actually useful, then it's really hard for low rarity.
問題ないし落ち着いて。ドクター、ここっていい景色だね。わあ、そういうところだった。戦場の墓場よ。
追い風が吹いてるな。あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
わかった、私の目を見て。僕に任せて。僕に任せて。ぶん殴ってやる。
Hooray, double hit.
はい、油断スタンバイ。
Now let's see if we get the RNG we need to on the right side as well. 1 XP so I can stretch my arms a bit.
普段通り
I like the idea of the chains, but there's some issues with how they're implemented in the game. This guy dodges every hit. Oops, I kind of throwed a bit,
了解です。
though it
で、ど
might not matter,
暴力じゃ何もここだよ。
because this guy won't need a second chain to die. If they don't teleport, we'll just die.
ドクター、僕と遊ぼう。
Okay, and they're both in range. No huge RNG failures. Bubble has enough health to survive the hit.
ここだ。
We just leave that to Totter?
ここだ。
I guess we have to.
光が力を蓄えています。
How much health is that? Dies in 2 more hits. Bubble's health is really low. Basically, I want to use Perfumer's own skill as late as possible, which is why I'm paying so much attention to her health.
僕に
The heal 900. 300. Yeah, we can't use haste here. It has to be only Totter.
今日はついてるぜ。あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
She'll survive 1 more hit.
僕に任せて。
We can go 1 more. That's still enough health. If this guy leaks, he leaks. There's nothing we can do about that.
問題ないし
And now we have to use it.
僕に任せて。基盤を引く。
Bye, dude.
追い風が吹いてるな。
Unfortunate. Because we got all of the other RNG we needed. I guess I can try using Indigo a bit lower, since she doesn't stay there for the full time. I was kind of hoping he'd actually die to Totter, but that's how dodge works. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of enemies who have RNG. Like, I would actually prefer if they just had double the health instead of having the RNG.
いい景色だね。
I know that would screw over certain operators that do true damage, but that's not my problem.
戦場は墓場よ。
We can just add a condition where they take double damage from true damage or something.
白い息が。
I just generally hate when AI enemies have unreliable behaviors. Within the context of this kind of game, I don't really mind it in an RTS game, for example.
治療してほしいやつは前に出ろ。
みんなこっち来て。
ワクワクする。しっかりしろ。
分かった。
追い風が吹いてるな。今日はついてるぜ。
The chains have a bunch of their own junk, but you haven't had a chance to see it yet, because
リンゴちゃん今日もよろしくね。
we haven't gotten the RNG for you to see enemies just walking through chains without being bound by them.
鳥のようにここでしっかり支えます。私の目を見て。盾を構えるぞ。違うよ。リンゴちゃん今日もよろしくね。
問題ないわ。いや確かに。
銃が飛び立った草むらに待ち伏せの可能性。
俺が見えないだろう。
この敵たちはどれも
We
何も
can wait until that enemy gets bounded.
霧が出てる。今日はついてないな。
準備できました。
霧が出てる。霧が出てる。今日はついてないな。隠れても無駄だ。
普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。おバカさんたち僕が相手だよ。ドクター。ああ危ない。
I'm pretty sure that's an amount of help where I can just reset, but we'll just let it play out to see how close we get to killing it, because I didn't properly remember last time. If I was off stream I'd go and review the replay, but it's kind of a pain to do on stream, so fuck it, we'll just play it out. I don't think Gavio dying there really matters, because we have enough DP to do what we want anyway.
霧が出てる。今日はついてないな。あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
分かった。私の目を見て。
Oh, we got the acid drop dying version. Yeah, that's a thing that can also happen. Basically, this guy is bound, and so he's in acid drop, but doesn't reach Ethan. Different kind of RNG. If he was one step forward, he'd hit Cutter. If he was one step back, he would hit Ethan. You know, maybe there is a way to set that up. To avoid the RNG where they dash to the side. So here's what I have in mind. Realistically, we only need to kill the first 3 of these assholes, right? We don't actually care about the rest. So let's say we move Bubble 1 tile forward like this. No, it doesn't work. Never mind. Never mind, not an option. We get an unresolvable problem later from this. The problem being that Cutter is going to have to tank 3 scissor hands, and she can't. If we put her between the defenders, so she can use the assassins to charge up her skill, then that's fucked because she can't block the scissors, and then we die, because we leak assassins. If we put her on the front, she tanks 3 assassins and dies instantly. Not assassins, scissors. Either way, this is non-viable.
本気で行くよ。
has to be the tiles we're already using.
戦場は墓場よ。
白い息が
振り返るな。
追い風が吹いてるな。今日はついてるぜ。あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
治療してほしい。
本気で行くよ。
Poopman, I know you're kind of trolling, but I want to point out that Flouter can definitely one-shot these dudes, right? They only have 30k health. Like, it's 1-2 shots for her. Like, there are in no way something that's effective against her. Or high damage operators. In fact, the easiest way to deal with them is explicitly high damage operators. So I'm not sure what conversations about water have to do with these guys at all. Like, they're completely unrelated things.
アーツの治療範囲に入れ。
本気で行くよ。
声を出すな。怖くはないわ。
行くよ。始めるぜ。
ここですか。いくらでも待つよ。盾を構えるぞ。普段通り釘を打てば。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。
ええ、気を確かに。
白い息が見える。雪原に敵が潜んでる可能性ある。
俺が見えないだろ。
逃げたいなら。
Oh, I like all sorts of event gimmicks. What I don't like is enemies that have dodge. It's very unpleasant. I wouldn't mind if it was like they dodge every 3 attacks or something. As long as it's consistent behavior.
海面が少し想像しいです。
It being random is just not very fun.
隠れても無駄だ。
Because you can't really strategize around it.
普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。
And not speaking about the difficulty of this map, just why I don't like enemies that have dodge in general. I don't think there's an outcome that's fun for you. Either they just don't dodge at all and then you forget they even had dodge, or they dodge a bunch of attacks in a row and annoy you. There's no circumstances where it feels pleasant for the player. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm talking about dodge in general, not about the specifics here. Also, the way the chains works, they only disable dodge for a very limited amount of time. So you get a situation where we have enemies that are blocked under a chain and they still have dodge.
バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。ドクター、ここ
ほら、しっかり。
は見ちゃうところだった。
戦場は墓場よ。
霧が出てる。隠れても無駄だ。
振り返るな。
僕にもトゲトゲアタック。オラオラ。
Crystal, the answer is obviously Ultunada. How could you even ask that? Did you not see the thumbnail of this video? Why do you think she's there? We're dead. Because this one here doesn't die.
ここだここ。暴力じゃ何も解決できないけど。
Let's watch Bubble explode together. Because the assassin's dodging every hit.
無駄無駄。
ええ。
Even if we killed him now, it's too late. Because Bubble won't have the health to survive this hit. And if I used Perfumer's skill any earlier, so she does survive that hit, we would have died anyway because we need her skill later. GG's. RNG isn't really the same every auto. That's how it's supposed to work. That's not really how it works in practice. Because you can always drop one frame, like even if there's nothing wrong with your system. So you can always get some inconsistent results. There's also another question about movement and enemy movement behavior, which has its own bit of RNG in it. But it's not based on the seed, so it's not even affected by that. It's has to do with much worse things, like geometry. So let's just not get into that. I always preferred algebra anyway.
皆さん慌てず順序よく撤退してください。くれぐれもはぐれないでくださいね。
You've heard wrong. S2 is almost always worse than S1. This is one of those rare cases where it isn't. The short is just because we need more damage. And against enemies with 1000 defense, where they stay in Pinecone's range, S2 does a bit more. It's just barely better though.
リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。
私の役目は刀を
There's also no value in actually holding her shots. The big value on S1 is that you can tailor the shot to the enemy waves, but here you kind of just end up spamming them on cooldown anyway, so there's nothing to be gained from that. And you end up with better value from her S2. The difference isn't big, to be clear. We're talking about a couple thousand damage probably.
リンゴちゃん、今日も
Or maybe more, but it's not some massive difference. S2 is just barely better and we need every bit of damage we can get.
追い風が吹いてるな。
影のよしっかりしろ。ビールタイム。繰り返る。始めるぜ。
わ、リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。鍵のようにここでし繰り返る。いくらでも待つよ。悪い人に立ち向かうぞ。
I don't know, I kind of like it more than the Dark Souls. Especially Dark Souls 3 really turned me off of FromSoft music,
今日もよろしくね。
with every song being like some epic, fuck, I forgot the word in English. Choir? Yeah, choir. With some very bombastic instruments. Like, they had so little variety in Dark Souls 3, it really made me kind of dislike it.
白い息が見える。
逃げたいので道を照らしましょう。
どうすりゃいいんだ。
Oh, I forgot to activate Eaton again.
海面
Not happens a lot.
想像しいですね。
おバカさんたち。
すべて見えている。
ドクター。あ、危ない。
That's what I get for talking about Dark Souls music. Eh, playable.
治療してほしいや。モーリ
ここだここ。目の前真っ暗になってねえか。
ー。始める。
There's no way to kill the assassins on the right lane.
アーツの治療。
We are going to kill 3 of them and then block them, which is why we have our Pancon and defenders and medics set up there. If we move this squad over to the right lane, they simply cannot kill what's coming from the right lane. Even if you take out the scissor hands, which we obviously can do, we still can't kill all the assassins. So it's meaningless.
段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。
問題ないよ。ほら。
Oh yeah, I was wondering what I was forgetting.
みんな、助けに来たよ。
Do I like Dark Souls? It's okay, I guess. I preferred Sekiro from Souls games.
おバカさんたち体当たりだ
Bubble should just barely survive that, unlike 1 health. Yeah. We probably leak this guy next. Miss, miss, miss. Bye bye, assassin guy.
ここだここ
逃げ回るのは慣れてるけど今回は散々だよ
I haven't played Sifu. I've heard it's good, but there's a million games. Currently, I'm basically grinding out a roguelike called Rabbit and Steel, which is basically a bullet hell roguelike. I'd really recommend that. And when I want to play something that takes zero effort, I also play God of War Ragnarok, because I haven't cleared through that since I was waiting for the PC release.
私の役目は刀を振るうことだけ
治療の準備だ。
本気で行くよ綺麗な地形だね
しっかりしろ。
分かった声を出すな
I like how challenge modes still take 3 practice points, by the way, even though you get a full sanity refund anyway, so practice points are completely pointless now.
影に
何やってんだ。
バックフリップからの
狙い撃ち。
Which is fine, don't get me wrong.
分かった振り返るな
But honestly, they should just go all the way and make it so you can play stages for free,
これが
where you just don't get any rewards if you clear them, but you can play them as much as you want.
ここですか盾を構えるぞ
Haven't heard of the spaceship roguelike, no idea what that is.
大丈夫うわみんなこっち来て
I might start playing on 1x speed just so I can read the chat more.
白い息が見える。雪原に敵が潜んでるか。
Don't forget Ethan this time.
逃げたいのに
Remove Myrtle.
追い風が吹いてるな。今日はついてるぜ。すべて見えているぞ。
バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよあ危ないピロちゃん電撃発
治療の準備だ。
ここだよ
ここだここ俺が見えないだろ
Okay, this run isn't worst by default from this guy's health, so let's let it out. His health is still high enough that we have to use Topper's skill though, otherwise he won't die.
問題の使用確かにみんな助けに来たよ
This guy died to Ethan if you're wondering what happened there. Which is why the timing on Ethan's skill activation is so specific, exactly so he can hit people 3 times as they walk through his range.
分かった
We can wait a bit more before using
私の目を見て分かった
Bubble's defensive skill. About when the assassin walks out of the chain range. Yeah, like that. If anything, that was too early. I'll try to use it as late as possible because that gives Pinecone more time to DPS on her end. Literally the last possible hit. Will this guy die for a change? One more hit here. Yeah, that guy's dead. Though, so might we. Let's see. Hooray, we lucked out. Are we still gonna fail the bind? We might be dead there. Okay, that's just barely in range. And he went invisible because he's outside of chain range. That's just tragic. Bye bye. How about using Gummy instead of Quora? So, you know how Quora has 1200 defense and Gummy has less than that? You know how enemies have 1800 attack? What do you think is gonna happen when Gummy gets hit twice by them? If you think she's going to heal back up... That's about all I have to say about Gummy. Effectively, Gummy, Quora and Bubble have over double Gummy's defense. Like, they are not in the same playing field at all when it comes to tanking hits. And since we're going to need the defender on the back to block 3 assassins at one point, using anything other than defenders, like proper hard defenders like Quora and Bubble, is outside of the question. It's not remotely an option. Cutter might die here. Yeah. What happened is that the assassin got... not the assassin. The Lancer got slowed down a bit more than usual because of the angle he entered the chain in. Or maybe how quickly the chain affected him. Whatever. As a result, the chain slow ran out before he reached Cutter, and then she exploded. If Gummy had 100% stun, she would still be worse for this than Quora. Like, she can't stun 3 enemies at once. Yeah, I get a break.
ドクター、こちらです。怖がらないでください。どれほど暗い道でも私が照らしますから。
Yeah, people already asked me about 5 times about the new 4-star, and I gave the same answer I always give, that I don't know, and we'll see it when it comes out. If you want my just assumptions, blocking air units is probably a meme, and it only has any potential to be useful on something like Dolly. Because on the flying drone in Icy, it just doesn't matter. If it's an infinite duration skill, which Tom stinks, maybe it will be more useful, because then we can perma-box some enemies. But blocking air units is only gonna be useful if you have some really big air units. Or maybe on some stages like that chapter 9 stage with 200% movement speed. Yeah, of course I'll make a video when she comes out. Emphasis on when she comes out. I don't actually enjoy speculating. I work with numbers, not assumptions. It's not my assistant because it's not my account.
罪なき人を巻き込まないように十分に準備して。わあ、リンゴ ちゃん今日もよろしくね。
The only thing that I don't see anyone talking about that's important about the flying walker is that we'll finally be able to know whether Montes can attack flying enemies, which is obviously the most important question in Arknights.
今日はついてるぜ。あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
本気で行くよ。
ワクワクするな。しっかりしろ。
Have I been doing this for 2 hours? 2 hours and a half to be precise, minus P break. Oops. We kind of left out there for too long. It's not critical because we can just play a different line. It's all RNG bullshit anyway. Going from one line of RNG to another isn't that big of a deal. Okay, so I normally deploy Haze, who wastes 9 DP. If I normally deploy Pinecone at 34, I need to deploy her at 43 now. Maybe I should deploy her at 42 instead, so she gets 1 extra hit in the first Tasco. Oh wait, no, this is fucked. I forgot to retreat Gavio, this is... I fucked up the timings. Bad math from me. I forgot to retreat Gavio, so the timings were like 8 seconds off. Since that's not fixable, we can just reset. Well, Sui is just actually broken, unlike W, who's simply overpowered. There are different kinds of meta operators.
わあ、リンゴちゃん今日もよろしくね。
宇宙が飛び立った。
私の目を見て。
霧が出てる。今日はついてない。すべて見えているぞ。
治療の準備だ。
みんなこっち来て。綺麗な地形だね。
アーツの治療範囲に入れ。
追い風が吹いてるな。今日はついてるぞ。
今助けてやる。アピールタイム。
本気で行くよ。行くよ行くよ。これが戦場というものだ。いくらでも待つよ。鍵のようにここでしっかり支えます。盾を構えるぞ。引き金を引く。
光の地球を確かに。
If I can get Montes from support, I'm gonna release that video. That's something that must exist on YouTube.
宇宙が飛び立った。草むらに待ち伏せの可能性が。
目の前真っ暗になってみるか。
心の汚れが光への恐れを生むんです。
追い風が吹いてるな。
Kind of rude.
あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。
I think I die because I don't have DP now, because I let Indigo die. Because I won't have 24 DP to deploy Gavio. Though realistically I can just deploy Gavio over here. That's not the biggest of deals. If he casts an Eaton, we're dead though. Yeah, we're dead. I could afford Indigo dying instead of being retreated, or deploying Quora, but not both.
ピロちゃん、私から離れちゃダメだよ。
Yeah, the August model is just so he can meme on the Primal Caster as an archetype.
戦場は墓場よ。
宇宙が飛び立った
振り返るな。
追い風が吹いてるな。今日はついてるぜ。隠れても
Yes, you're correct. Sufficiently advanced physical damage is true damage.
綺麗な今助けてやる。
追い風が吹いてるな。
でどういオーリー。
できた。みんなこっち来て。
始めるぜ。
これが戦場というものね。行くよ。敵のようにここでしかくれたな。
Knew I was forgetting something.
盾を構えるぞ。バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。ほら、しっかり。
白い息が見える。雪原に敵が潜んでる可能性。
いいぞ、もっとやれ。
心の汚れが光への恐れを生むんです。準備できました。
Need to retreat Murto. It's about time.
追い風が吹いてるな。
準備できま
This
した。
thing should die before Totter charges. And now we can walk if we have to, without running out of DP.
隠れても無駄だ。
普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。ああ、危ない。
No, the guy had 0% dodge this run.
ピロちゃん、頑張ろう。電気使うぜ。
治療してほしいやつは前に出る。ビールタイム。
ここだ、ここ。いいぞ、もっとやれ。
1 hit, 2 hits. Murto,
ドクター、ここっていい景色だね。
Cutter,
戦場は墓場。
Totter. Actually, we can. Should I use Totter's Q or not? Because we might have a better line if we don't use it here. Yeah, it should die with. That should die without Totter's Q, right? Yeah, we'll try to switch to the line where we don't use it.
わかった。私の目を見て。
Because it's more useful later.
いくらでも待つよ。おバカさんたち、僕が相手だよ。
Or maybe he'll just walk through on 1 health. That'd be funny if it happens.
はい、助かった。
But nah, that should be enough damage. Emphasis on enough.
はい、了解です。
Point is we can activate him while fighting this asshole. Now we have some RNG and Pinecone's End,
ここだ、ここ。目の前真っ暗になって。
where one of these guys need to go over to Quora. I'm also 90% sure. Yeah, that's outside of Pinecone's range. Oh, somehow it's still not. Whoa.
追い風が動く。
Ethan misses binds, and we're dead.
Kuso. いくら怪我人が出てるからってこれで私が諦めると思うなよ。
How long am I planning to grind? No idea. Until I get tired.
目的地はどこでしたっけ？うわ、見ちゃうところだった。本気で行くよ。戦場
I did actually go outside, work out a bit, move around, so I have plenty of energy to sit in front of my computer right now.
銃が飛び立った。
私の目を見て。
追い風が僕だ。
治療してほしいやつ。
私の目を見て。みんな、こっち来て。
しっかりしろ。
綺麗な地形だね。
Yeah, I'm one of those people that gets frustrated if I sit in one place for too long.
今日はついてない。
Which is why usually when I'm trying to solve a stage, my process is just start walking around. Which is why, as I mentioned, I have no idea how I'm supposed to do that on stream. Maybe I need a webcam so you can watch me pace around while thinking about the stage.
ビールタイム。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。怖くはないわ。わかった。鳥のようにここさえ戻すな。盾を構えるぞ。
I mean, if I keep playing for 10 hours and want to play more, I can just go to EN and deal with the WAG, right?
リンゴちゃん、
Not sure why that would stop me.
問題ないわ。気を確かに。うわ、見ちゃうところだった。
I don't know, in Death Note they just kind of sit around and think in a very suspicious looking way if you... for the person looking them.
銃が飛び立った。
I mostly just walk around and think to myself.
道を照らします
So is it more suspicious if you walk around... I forgot to use it again.
俺が見えない。
Screw it.
海面が少し騒々しいです。
追い風隠れても無駄だ。
Anyhow, my question is it more suspicious if you walk around while thinking or if you sit on your ass while thinking after somebody asks you a question and you ignore them for 5 minutes? Not slow enough here to continue. Though I think I trolled myself and now we're relying on an off-skill item bind to live. Or maybe not. Yeah, just wait until the next attack comes. So, which is about here. That's fine. We don't need the 12 DP.
普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。
One hit, 2 hits, Myrtle.
しっかり。
Oh yeah, you have a good point. You go ask if somebody stole something, they just look at you, don't say anything, get up and start pacing around the room for 5 minutes.
霧が出た。僕だ。
わかった。私の目を見て。僕に任せて。トゲトゲアタック。おバカさんたち、僕が相手だよ。
That's such high health that he might just leak past Totter. Let's see how our RNG row is. I guess he's not leaking.
バッテリーはまだまだ。
And now we get the Pinecone RNG.
はい、了解です。できた。
ここだここ。俺が見えないだろ。
ホーリー。ドクター。無駄無駄。
Workable for now.
問題ないわ。
Yeah, we don't need to activate Bubbles Q here. Okay, so, funny thing. Whether this chain, the second one, will reveal him or not, is complete RNG. Let's see what we get. Okay, it did reveal him.
で、
But that wasn't guaranteed. He could have just walked straight through it as well.
力を蓄えています。
Health, we have plenty there. Go, Totter.
僕に任せて。
Yeah, it's some kind of frame bullshit.
ええ、ついて。準備できました。
That happens way too often. It's making me kind of salty. It's so consistent.
どうしようどうしよう。
I guess I'll stop spamming Totter's Q here and just wait, let him do a basic attack. So if we get the same pattern, we should have one more attack in there. So that might just be on me, because I'm used to... I'm an autopilot a bit in just spamming the skill, but technically I get slightly more damage if I wait for an attack. Assuming, of course, that waiting for an attack doesn't make Totter miss a big attack. But I'm too lazy to go and count that. We'll just try it and see what happens next time we get there. Have I tried other squads yet? Pretty much anything else I could think of. Nothing else worked, so we're here.
するな。今助けてやる。
追い風が吹いてるな。霧が出てるな。今日はついてない。
This is like the end of the road. This isn't where I'm starting.
何やってんだ。バックフリップからの。
Yeah, it's the CN server,
どうもよろしくね。
because CN is is too waggy to play.
行くよ。
Some kind of emulator issue.
いくらでも遅れてね。ここですか？
I could be deploying Pink on half a DP earlier, that doesn't waste any damage. It's relevant a bit later, because we want to get rid of her as quickly as possible on her last skill use,
わあ、りんごちゃん。今日も
which is why I'm even thinking about it.
しっかり。
So 33.5 or so on the current setup. Yeah, I'm running Mumu and it was also waggy as hell. But it's only waggy when you're playing on EN. CN runs perfectly fine. They just fucked something up in some recent patch, that's why. Can wait for this guy to get bound before we retreat Myrtle.
わあ、ちゃうところだった。
海面が少し騒々しいですね。
おバカさんたち、僕が
隠れても無駄だ。
違うよ。引く。
Well, if you're all going to crash into core anyway. Not unkillable amounts of health. We play on.
スタンバイ。
治療してほしいやつは前に出ろ。
モーリー。ここだここ。俺が見えないだろ。
Though I do notice I can wait one more return attack before activating his skill. Not sure if it's actually better. Worth a try after we fail the RNG this time.
問題ないわ。落ち着いて。
Mm-hmm.
みんな、助けに来たよ。わあ、ちゃうところだった。戦場の
Spam Totter skill.
あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
いくらでも待つよ。
We can wait more before using double skill.
トゲトゲ。
Yeah, but that should be the limit in any case.
おバカさんたち、僕が相手だよ。
That's a lot of health, so we might just leak him here. We'll see. Miss. 2 misses should be a leak unless we get an off-skill item bind.
ここだここ。
I mean, we can try and use Ethan's skill, since we would leak him otherwise. We might still leak him even with Ethan's skill, which we did. We would have been dead here, even if we did kill him, because using Ethan's skill at that point is a death sentence. That was like the first big RNG check. So if we're gonna have a failed run, that's the best RNG check to fail on, as far as I'm concerned. Oh yeah, I remember Payday. I really did not like the combat in that game. Had a friend with whom I used to play Killing Floor 2 and they suggested to play that instead. That felt like such a downgrade. Doing some of the missions where we just need to sneak around and so was fun though. And luckily we don't have to redeploy it. Moving my arm all the way to the right screen is so annoying. I don't know how many hours has the stream been going on for. The two may resemble each other. Let's wait for the third hit this time, because his Q should be ready in time anyway. Playable health, really high though. We need to land at least 2 hits to get a kill here. Nah, 3 hits is too much, it doesn't line up. I guess I just activated it early last time and didn't notice. No, we actually get the kill on that guy. Hooray! No time for the off skill hit. It's not a big deal anyway. This guy still isn't dead. That should be 2 pinecone hits, I think. 1 miss, 2 misses. That guy is out of range. We can't hit this guy here anyway. you can notice that Pinecone only hits one, so we're dead. Reset time. I'm playing on CN, so maintenance really doesn't affect me. Streaming helps with trying over and over again, at least for me, yeah, because otherwise I'll just go and do something else. This is kind of helping me to force me to actually grind. If I'm just doing it on my own, I'll take breaks, go do other stuff. While figuring out what other strategies I could do, I probably spent about 20 hours playing Rabbit and Steel 2. Wonder if I can go make a coffee while I'm waiting. Disconnect number 6. I should figure out how to set up some counter so I can just write down every time we have some bug, get walked out, or disconnect. Yeah, so this is just the last time I'm grinding this. If we don't get it on this stream, I'm never playing this again. I'm 100% sure it's possible, and it's just a question of RNG. So either we get it now or never again. What happened on Shu's banner? Did we have some server crash? I'm usually not in a rush to log in. You know, because no 4 stars. So I don't pay too much attention. No, so it's just a bunch of people logging in at once. Yeah, that's the usual. You know, I should kill this asshole with cutter too. I can still make it with bubble. Might let us deploy Indigo a bit faster, which doesn't really matter, but it makes the timings less annoying, because now the skill activation lines up with when I'm supposed to redeploy Totor, which is a pain to deal with, because I have to use both of my hands to actually play. One hit, second hit. Bye bye, Myrtle. If it's going to be in Quora range. These guys have basically zero defense, so Quora just straight up does actual damage to them. Also, I like how Ethan basically missed every single bind there. Good job, Ethan. 84% chance to bind my ass. At least the bind on these ones doesn't matter, because if I time it right, they won't click anyway. One more hit. Is he pushed? Ah, there we go.
追い風が吹いてるな。今日はついてるぜ。隠れても無駄だ。
分かった。私の目を見て。
Yeah, we need to leave. We can wait a little bit more until he leaves the first chain, to be exact. Yeah, I could have waited a bit more on there. Should probably wait until he touches the front of the first chain, so until he starts turning around. Yeah, we kill him then, thanks to the off-skill item bind. This guy's only got shot once, so not a guaranteed kill. We have time for the spare attack.
ピロさん、影のようにと。
どうすりゃいいんだ。目の前真っ暗に。無駄無駄。ホーリー。
Good RNG on the right side. This guy is still in range, correct? Yep. So now it's just a question if we kill this asshole. Now he'll go invisible. And now it's a question of whether the second chain reveals him or not. Hooray, it did.
どうやって相手するんだ？杖が温まってきました。
And now we can wait a bit, because Bubble was at full health.
追い風が吹いてるな。
Yeah, there's no reason to wait for the skill for another attack. It will cost us an entire elite attack. Should be dead there, unless we really luck out with another bind. Indigo doesn't charge in time, I think. Yeah. Oh! That guy tanked the attack. Also, I think he dodged the attack anyway. But that guy tanked the attack as well, so we couldn't see the mistext. But his health didn't move, so that was a dodge as well.
すまない、ドクター。ターゲットは射程圏内から外れた。狙撃はもう不可能だ。
Realistically, I should retreat acid drop the moment the second chain touches the assassin before that, so we can get Indigo a bit sooner. If we can press her skill before they go invisible, we kind of have better odds there. Because the EN server is a laggy, he has massive frame drops. Since the RA2 update, if you play an emulator, you get massive frame drops on large stages for whatever reason. It's really annoying, so I prefer to deal with the lag on the CN server. Oh yeah, I was supposed to deploy Gavio. I kind of got distracted and forgot what I'm supposed to be doing. Whoa.
あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
治療の準備だ。
本気で行くよ。ワクワクするな。
今助けてやる。
You're wrong. The assassin has 1800 attack, not 1500. If it was 1500 attack, that's trivial to tank, because it means they only do 300 damage per hit to Core and Bubble. But at 1800 they do 600. On normal mode, they do have 1500, but on challenge mode they have more. That's like 90% of the reason challenge mode is harder, which is why I'm really emphasizing it.
怖くはないわ。釘のようにここでしっかり支えます。声を出すな。いくらでも待つよ。悪い人に立ち向かうぞ。バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。こういう香りは好き？
Yeah, effectively they do double damage to the operators I'm going to use to block them.
どれも何の危険さには及びません。海面が少し騒々しいですね。
Oops, we can retreat Myrtle.
海面が少し騒々しいですね。
霧が出たのか。
普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。ほらほら。危ない。はい。停電スタンバイ。
治療してほしいやつは前に出ろ。オーリー。
ここだここ。俺が見えないだろ。
始めるぜ。何やってん
I
の？
don't necessarily mind RNG. It can be fun. Let me just pause a bit to talk about this. I think RNG can be really fun in games when different sets of RNG make you do different things in response. Kind of like how you have RNG in roguelikes where you get different runs. You can have that in individual instances of RNG, even in Arknights where Ethan binds or not. Which is why Ethan is generally kind of fun to use, because you can usually win with most variations of the RNG you get. You just need to do different things depending on how many times he binds. This is not one of those times though. This is just pain. Okay, moving on.
バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。
問題ないわ。いや、確かに。
Oh, does that not die? Nah, that should be tagged by Ethan, right? Unless I'm being stupid. Yeah, it's not.
私の役目は刀を振るうことだけ。
Okay, we'll hit it
い
once.
くらでも待つよ。
And then we need to block this guy.
助けに来たよ。
And we nicked another one. I don't like RNG when it doesn't affect what you're doing. Like, if it's completely irrelevant and you don't even notice it, then it doesn't bring anything. I also don't like it when you can only have negative outcomes for it, but I can make some space for that in a circumstance where a negative outcome is acceptable. Can't really think of a video game example for that, but think like in some kind of punishment game where you spin a wheel. Like, it's fine to only have negative outcomes there, even though it's RNG. Because you've already made whatever mistake led to that.
戦場は墓場よ。
白い息が見える。
What's the Calamity mode? Is that just what you call the hard mode? Then I don't care exactly which relics we get.
今日はついてない。
Mostly I don't care because the difficulty isn't high enough for it to matter.
開いたところで意味ないぞ。
Speaking of difficulty options though, my least favorite difficulty in video games has to be the God of War thing they do in the new games, where they just give enemies more stats and damage, so it's exactly the same fight but it takes 2 minutes longer. Makes it feel completely pointless to play on higher difficulty, because you're getting the exact same experience, it just lasts a bit longer, because enemies are sponges. Whereas my favorite is when difficulty options completely change how a system works.
霧が出てる。
Bullet hells are actually a good example of this, where you have different patterns and different difficulties, so it's not the same gameplay.
影のよう。しっかりしろ。で、アピールタイム。
リンゴちゃん、今日私の目を見て。
何すりゃいいんだ？
これが戦場というものね。
いくよ。
By the way, I'm basically done with the grind on this stage after today, no matter what happens, so come back to normal streams in a few days. I guess I should make a poll about what you want to see,
悪い人に
because I want to screw around with certain operators like Roma that definitely suck, but I want to see if I can make them work. We want to do a kind of chat picks options in reclamation algorithm, Though we'll probably do that on CN, I guess. Or either that or we wait until they fix the wagon EN to do that one. Or I'll try Google Play. Yeah, those are all options. Anyhow, what do you want to do for the next stream I do, which will probably be tomorrow? Chapter 14, RA, or screwing around with Aroma in IS4? What sounds most enticing?
今日もよろしくね。
杖が温まってきました。
ええ、ほら、しっかり。
I'll probably just make a poll for it later. Basically, we can have... The best suggestion I got about how to make Chat Knight's reclamation algorithm work is just to have you make several squads, and then you just decide where we go.
この敵たちはどれも波の危険さには及びません。
どうすりゃいい？目の前真っ暗に
Knew I was forgetting something.
海面が
Ethan being a terrorist as usual. Can you shoot already? Or does that guy make it first? Because if we leave the turret, we're dead anyway.
準備できました。
That's what I get for retreating Myrtle. Kind of retreated Myrtle out of habit. I need to leave her a bit longer just for this, which is why I usually leave her a bit longer. I got distracted talking about reclamation algorithm. It definitely helps me focus more, because I can't just get up and walk for 10 minutes when I'm streaming. But I have no idea how some streamers can stay consistently focused on the game, especially on some long runs while talking to chat. That's some superhuman shit to me.
私を狂わせる自由の匂いだ。わあ、本気で行くよ。戦場は墓場よ。
白い息が
私の目を見て。
霧が出てる。
治療の準備だ。
リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしく。綺麗な地形だね。
しっかりしろ。
Yeah, I guess with longer speedruns, it's less about it's just knowing when you can look away. Because if you do it for long enough, you have windows where you can just not pay attention. Streamers who don't try hard don't count. You can always just play the game and fuck up while playing then. Which is what I do anyway, I guess.
アピールタイム。
リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。これが戦場というものね。繰り返る。
There are no stages like this one though. It's just this stage. I don't think we really have a stage coming that's anywhere near this difficulty. And I'm not talking in terms of 4 stars only, I'm just talking in general. I don't remember any stage being particularly difficult from all the upcoming scene events. Though I didn't put a lot of effort into the Seaborn event. I played it with 6 stars for the X stages, which means that I don't remember the event at all.
空銃が飛び立った。草むらに待ち伏せの可能性ある。
ここだここ。俺が見えないだろ。
心の汚れが
I don't have W on this account.
心を生むんです。
I probably used Wogus. Or maybe I didn't, and I just used Redouter. Wogus is infinitely better, but the difference is kind of meaningless for most stages.
霧が出あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。あ、危ない。
Also, I don't have any particular hate for W. I do think she's, like, saying I think she's broken and overpowered is wrong. She is broken and overpowered, that's not an opinion. But I don't have any kind of hate for her. If the account has her, I don't mind using her when I don't want to play the game. That's what she's for anyway. Why would I not use I would use W like I use the skip story button, you know? My only problem with her is that I think her drip is shit. Like, she does not look good in that outfit. She needs a skin more than any other operator in the game to fix her extreme issues. Yeah, I would enjoy a Chen Outer quality skin, because Chen Outer got what's essentially the best skin in the game. I kind of doubt they can top that one. Oh, there's nothing in her range. Oh. That's fine. We're not in a big rush to deploy. As long as she doesn't die to a once, it doesn't matter. I think Gavio outer skin is stupid on so many levels you don't know where to begin. First of all, why did she get a summer skin? She's already a summer op. That's like two of the same thing. Makes no sense. Oh? Is it gonna be playable? Nope. Go next. Well, Dejin has the witch suit with the scythe, which I would recommend everyone get. The animation on S3 is much better, incidentally. It's a really good skin. But yeah, in terms of quoving, do I hate Dejin's Peace Poo suit combo of brown and yellow, or whatever the fuck W outer is running? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess I'd go with Dejin in that, because you need to have massive fucking balls to go outside wearing the Peace Poo suit. Which kind of fits Dejin's character, I guess. But my god, that suit is so ugly. It's an offense to the eyes of everyone alive. Both in-universe and out. But her skin is really good, so I can forgive Dejin. Particularly like the new attack animations. Oh, the skill tree looks a lot better. Way less generic. I think Gavio outer skin is probably one of the worst skins in the game. It looks incredibly stupid. I just didn't get around to hating it, because I was hating on even the concept of it being a swimsuit skin. But yeah, I find it really stupid even apart from that. I really don't like it. Not sure why I'm post-spamming and nothing, but gotta kill time before the next fail somehow. The pinecone deploy was a bit too early. Might not matter though, we only miss one attack from it, I think. Might end the stream after this run. Or one more afterwards in any case. I can go do the free poo, which is the only poos I'm gonna do, and see if we get Wogus from that. Oh yeah, I forgot to use Ethan Wall. Well, we're already here, so we'll play it out. Yeah, I'm not streaming chapter 14 now. I'll do that tomorrow. 3-4 hours is about my limit when it comes to streaming. I won't touch it until tomorrow though. Ooh, the timing on it was so messed up. It was one of those where it got so slowed down I was better off just not using the skill auto. Though that still lines up if he gets hit, which he does. Very bad play from me. Let's see if it turns out it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I forgot to retreat Myrtle too. I guess I could have switched Cutter and Myrtle's positions, but then I'd probably just die anyway. Nah, this is actually the last attempt. Okay. It's just 3 minutes, and after that I'll go and see if we can pull Wogos in the temple, and then I'll close the stream. Last attempt ever, I'm never playing this again. Okay, I'm not talking for a bit.
Hikariについてきてください。
ドクター、ここっていい景色だね。わあ、本気で行くよ。私の役目は刀を振るうことだけ。
白い息が
振り返るな。
追い風が吹いてるな。僕だ。
治療の準備だ。
本気で行くよ。ワクワクするな。声を出すな。
霧が出てる。今日はついてないな。
今助けて。
ここだここ。
影のように振り返るな。みんなこっち来て。怖くはないわ。行くよ。ここですか？わかった。声を出すな。いくらでも待つよ。悪い人に立ち向かうぞ。基盤を引く。わあ、みんなこっち来て。え、続いて。
白い息が見える。雪原に
俺が見えないだろ。
逃げたいのなら道を照らしましょう。海面が少し騒々しいですね。
追い風僕だ。
ピロちゃん、電撃発
治療してほしいやつアピールタイム。
ここだここ。いいぞもっとやれ。
普段通り釘を打てば大丈夫。問題ない。こういう香りは好き。みんな助けに来たよ。私の役目は刀を振るうことだけ。いくらでも待つ。いくらでも待つよ。僕にもこんながってやる。おバカさんたち、僕の合図だよ。電撃発。はーい、オッケ のようにと。
暴力で何も解決できないけど、お前を
バックフリップからの狙い撃ち。
で、どうやって相手するんだ？光が力を蓄えています。
霧が出てる。
僕に任せて。
追い風が吹いてるな。あがいたところで意味ないぞ。
問題ないよ。
こういう香りは好き？バッテリーはまだまだ持ちますよ。
Okay, guess that's as far as we go. Ian should be open now, so I guess we will go there. Just do a tempo, see what comes out, and then we'll end the stream. Theoretically possible, but the RNG is just too much for me. If it was actually my strategy, I might have actually grinded it out. But since it's one I mostly stole from CN anyway, I don't have the motivation to keep going. Oh, we have a 10 minutes maintenance. Nah, I'm not playing anymore. That's about all the energy I have. Yeah, maybe in a few months I'll get the energy to do it, or somebody else can do it. If they can think of a better strategy, that'd be great, but I tried for probably half a week and I couldn't think of anything other. I basically put the effort, the kind of effort you put in CC, where I tried everything else that came to mind. Wonder if I'll actually be able to log on Yen. Sometimes it bugs out when I switch between servers. Oh, it didn't bug out this time. Yeah, and I need to download an update for another 7 minutes, so that lines up. I'll just stick around for the 10 row, so I don't blue ball you people with it. And then we'll play. And then I'll close the stream. Make a poll to see what we'll do tomorrow. But though I assume it will be chapter 14, because it's new. I assume the number of megabytes is different based on if you have some voice pack or something. Like if you don't download a certain voice pack, like I don't, and there's some new voices coming, it makes sense for the size to be different. I don't think the 40 megabytes are really gonna make a difference to you. I have JP and EN voices, so I can run away from the EN voices in case if they're really cringe. So some people are saying they're already in, so let's see what we get. A crash is an option.
Arknights.
Yeah, my third world country has decent internet at least. About 50 megabits is the slowest I can get where I live.
Stay healthy, Doctor. Vive la vida.
Okay, let's do the 10 row. And then I'll let you go. So many things to click. Curse the absence of a claim button. There's no 4-star, so I'm only doing 3 pulls. Almost perfect. We only missed 2. But we got the Utunada, so I'm satisfied. Best possible result for me, I guess.
Hello. I'm a member of the Yen Disaster
Yeah, alright.
Relief Organization.
No August or W for me.
Dispatched here as an intern.
I'd call that a success. Though I don't really mind having either. Oh, that's all it for me today. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a nice evening.